Does everyone feel that Lyon, after winning it last year, seem to be the team to beat? And does anyone here feel that it's the best chance to beat Lyon, having had a break from football?
You have to think that it's going to be difficult for any team to go back into playing games. I know there's probably friendlies scheduled for a couple of the sides, but it is hard to, you have a few weeks of football and going back it feels a bit strange, kicking the ball around again. So it's going to be difficult for all the teams. And like I said, Lyon have got players that are moving on at the end of this season. And perhaps, we've seen it in the Premier League, one or two players look like their eyes are elsewhere. So it could be the same in the Women's Champions League where, Lucy Bronze and Alex Greenwood are coming back to England. They might think that their hearts and their minds are in the right place, but subconsciously, could their performance suffer from it? I don't know. So I think, they're still going to be the favourites, but I do think this is probably not a bad time to play them if you're going to get them in a quarter final.
How much do you think not having a player like Hegerberg for such an important game will make a difference?
Yeah, she's obviously like a key player for them, and they obviously rely on her for goals. So it's just someone stepping up to the plate in a big game, to try and get the goals for them. But yeah, I think she'll be a massive miss for them.
I've just seen that Lyon have gone back to training, and they've sort of taken themselves away on a training camp. It looks like in the mountains. I guess they get that high altitude training, and they've been doing all sorts of team cohesion, rafting, different activities, bike riding. But how important is it just to get actually time on the ball back as well as all of that?
Obviously training, you can train as much as you want, but playing a game or training with the team, it's completely different from going a run or on a bike. So I think a lot of training has to be done on the pitch, obviously for a massive fixture as well.
And obviously you play against Glasgow. Will they just be fearless going into this, thinking they've got nothing to lose, massive underdogs, and just give it everything, really?
Yeah, I think they're obviously underdogs of the full competition, but they've got this far, so they've got a point to prove.
Helen, so Arsenal, if they don't win the Champions League, they won't be in it next year. What do you think it was that made Arsenal special the time that they did win it?
I think they had such an unbelievable team togetherness. I don't think they were all necessarily best friends off the pitch, but on the pitch, there was this just complete unity. They knew exactly what each other could do. They had players in every position that would compete and play probably in any other team in the world at the time. And they'd been together a long time as well, which again owes to the fact that they knew what each other's strengths were. I mean, they won that final, I think, without Kelly Smith as well. And to be without such a unbelievable player and to still win 1-0, not concede a goal in the two legs, because obviously it was a two-legged final back in 2007, I think it was. And they were untouchable at the time. Nobody could get their hands on any trophies that Arsenal were competing in, and it all culminated in that UEFA Cup win. And you like to think that that's the kind of team togetherness they're trying to get back now, because they've not really had it since. Now is the time where they're thinking, right, we need to get ourselves back up there and back up to the top where we used to be in for so long.
What do you think Arsenal really need to focus on in order to be in with a chance to beat PSG?
Arsenal need to be patient. They're used to scoring a lot of goals. As I said, Miedemar scores for fun, as do a lot of their other players. So I think they need to be patient, not get frustrated if they're not finding the net as regularly as they'd like, but also make sure they are keeping it tight at the back as well, not get too carried away. But I think they've probably got enough quality not to be too concerned. It's just how much this layoff, has impacted them. They're preparing as best they can, and I think they had one or two little injuries before lockdown that maybe have cleared up, so that might be a bonus for them that they've got one or two players back that perhaps wouldn't have been fit otherwise. So yeah, I think it's not going to be an easy tie by any means, but I think I'd just about put Arsenal as favourites.
Going into the PSG fixture, when it was originally meant to happen, they just had so many injuries and it was such a thin squad. So I think it's actually probably worked in their favour having it now rather than then, just to have all their players back fit.
I know they've lost one or two, contracts have ended. Danielle Carter and Louise Quinn have moved on, a couple of other players as well. But that's the same for a lot of teams, so they're not on their own in that. But those players that are back fit should make a real difference for them.
Katy, you look at Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich, they've had a chance to play football during this time. How much of a difference and how much of an edge will they now have?
The fact that they have match fitness is a massive bonus. Like we spoke about earlier, you can do as much training as you want, but it doesn't quite match, to the game fitness. So, they've had the whole year behind them. Teams like Wolfsburg, they're coming off the back of winning the league. So they're going to take that with them as well, positivity, and look to improve on that. And I think the fact that they've been able to keep playing throughout the year, they've obviously gelled as a team and got to know how each other play and things like that. So I think, yeah.
Siobhan, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who would you back to win the competition?
Well, Lyon. I just think because they've won it before and the players that they've got in their squad, I think they're probably the team to beat.
Okay, so 1 point for Lyon there. Who's everyone else backing?
I'm going to go with Wolfsburg, I think. Only because they've played, they have previously won it twice. They've got to the quarterfinals like 7 times. I just think they're going to want to finish off a really good year, and I think they've got the potential to this year as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Wolfsburg.
I'm going to stick my neck on the line and stay with Arsenal. I think Lyon and Wolfsburg, obviously, like you said, Wolfsburg have got those games behind them, and Lyon have the undoubted quality that we all know about. But yeah, I think Arsenal are going to want to finish this season with the trophy.
I was thinking maybe Wolfsburg, just because they've just won a trophy during the pandemic. I think they'll be full of confidence after winning that. I think it looks like they're having a bit of a break now. Then they'll probably get back into training and be raring to go again. I think they might win another trophy. After our discussion, does anyone want to change their mind on any of the quarterfinal results? This is your last chance to change your mind.
I'm going to back myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm staying.
I'll stay too.
Okay. The only one I've possibly changed my mind on is, I think, Barcelona. I just think Barcelona are too strong, and after that defeat in the final last year, I think they'll be wanting to do everything they can to get back there.
To be fair, I think Bayern have got a tough tie against Lyon, obviously. Like we said, the time they've been able to have on the pitch in competitive games, that could be the difference.